What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Another Ono Sports video, episode 26. Today we're talking some college football. We got Brett. He's one of my boys, and he knows ball. He knows all about college football. We're excited to have him on. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on. And what a first week we had. I guess it's technically the second week, but let's call it the first week of college football.
First week of college football. I went 14-4 in my picks. Feeling good and ready to roll it into week 2.
Yeah, let's go. Love to hear that. Well, let's go ahead and start with the recap of week 1. Obviously, the biggest game was the 1 versus the 3, Ohio State, Texas. Give me your initial thoughts, and then I'll share mine. Obviously, it was a huge game and a ton of storylines coming out of there.
Yeah, I think Arch Manning's receiving a lot of unnecessary flack. I mean, he went up against one of the best defenses in the country. He went up against the defending national champions, and yeah, there were times in that game where he did not look good. But I mean, it's week 1. You're going up against probably the toughest opponent you could face in Ohio State as well. I think that he's gonna be just fine. I think everyone is completely overreacting that he's not good. But because this is a really tough game, I think he's gonna turn it around. And I think like he would have played a cupcake this week and dropped 60 points on him, and we'd all be screaming for him for Heisman. So I think there's that double narrative, and I think a lot of people overreacted about Arch because I don't even think Ohio State's offense looked that good either, but no one's talking about that.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. So a few weeks ago, I said that I didn't think Arch was going to win Heisman. I thought it was crazy that he was plus 600 and the high level betting favorite. But I agree with you. I think it's tough to be like expect him to show up in the horseshoe and just dominate immediately in front of 100,000 people and the defending national champs. I will say though, I didn't like how he was changing up his mechanics. That's not Manning like. And the one throw that I know you saw to Wingo, the like 5-yard, I think it was 3rd and 5, and it was like a 5-yard drag route that he missed.
Yeah.
You got to hit that throw. And it was on the last drive of the game, and that's to their A1 receiver. He's probably taking that 20 to 30 yards after the catch. I didn't like that. But other than that, I agree. I think he's catching a little too much hate. And everyone says if his name was Manning, he'd just be another guy. You could say that. At the end of the day, he's the number 1 recruit in the country for a reason. It's not like he's bad. So I think he's going to have a great season. And I personally still think Texas is going to win it all. That defense is insane.
Yeah, I'm on board with you there. I think Texas is, one of the best teams in the country, if not the best team in the country. Still, this game was played at the Shoe. You're playing 2 games. You're playing against the fans. You're playing against Ohio State there, and that's just that's a tall order for anyone, even if your last name is Manning, and he showed that. And a big thing that I've noticed as well, I felt like Texas didn't open up the playbook as much until the second half. And in the second half, you kind of saw the flashes of who we thought he was going to be, but it felt like the playbook was very restricted and Ohio State forced him to stay in the pocket. But I feel like his best work is when he's out of the pocket and using his legs, because then you got to take that into account that he can run right by you. And he didn't really run that much. And I think that there should have been maybe a few more design runs, maybe a little bit setting up more bootleg. I know he's struggling to throw on the run from the throws we saw, but that's his game style. And it just felt very restricted and ultimately led to a very boring loss.
Yeah, 100%. We could probably talk about this game for an hour straight, but I think at the end of the day, Texas is going to be Texas, and I still think they will 100% make the playoff, even though they have a tough schedule coming up. Right. As far as Ohio State, Julian Sayin looked good, not great, like you said. And I think we'll see both of those teams again in the playoff, and I hope they rematch one more time. But another game I wanted to talk about that was another huge storyline was Bama against FSU. Dude, give me your thoughts on that, because personally, I thought Bama. I was wrong, and you thought FSU. So give me your thoughts on why you backed Castellanos, even though he got benched at BC.
Yeah, I mean, so to be honest, I've been on the Bama downfall for a while since Quinn Ewers walked into Alabama. I believe it was last year and beat them. I was all over that upset, and this year too. I didn't really know much about Ty Simpson. I haven't seen him play too much. But like the big thing is just Florida State's playing at home.
Yeah,
It's a home game. Florida State just had the worst season probably in their existence.
yeah, two
And they got
wins.
a brand new roster. And I like Tommy Castellanos. And I know like last year at BC, he like came out strong and then like kind of like I think he might have even lost a job at one point. Kind of
Yeah, he got benched.
yeah, he kind of fizzled out there. But I think
Yep.
he was just already checked out. He already knew he was leaving Boston College. And yeah, he gets an offer from Florida State under Mike Norvell. And now you got Gus Malzahn calling plays out there. He might be one of the best offensive coordinators in the country. They get a ton of brand new team, brand new transfer class comes in. I just felt like they might catch them sleeping, hit them early, and they did. And they held on, and Bama just got out physical, outplayed, period.
Yeah, and I've been seeing a ton of reports like obviously it's easy to pull tape when you're just watching for the negatives, but I've been seeing a ton of tape where the Bama team looks like they're almost like disinterested in the contact, and
Yeah.
Saban would chuckle at that if that
Yeah.
was a reality in his time. Like that's the complete opposite, and that's why Bama was so dominant over the last decade with Saban. But I thought it was crazy, man. Like obviously Ty Simpson, he's not like an Arch Manning type prospect where that's clear. He sat there for 3 years, right? This is his senior season. He's been there for I think 3 years as the backup. Obviously, Milroe was good, but there's a reason that Simpson isn't playing, and I think he showed that. He was okay. He looked like a game manager out there, but Alabama did not look like Alabama. And I got to give FSU credit. I think they brought in, like you said, 50. I think that it was either 40, high 40s, low 50s amount of transfers.
Brand new team.
They were balling.
Yeah. No, they really rallied. They really rallied overall.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see. Another thing that I will point out that like it's just the undisciplinedness of Alabama.
Yes.
One
A
thing
lot of penalties.
you saw with Saban is that they would not have penalties whatsoever. If you had just like a holding call against Bama, that was the grounds for celebration. Like a false start, you would be celebrating. But like
that's not new school.
No, not new school Bama. There's a lot of not discipline at all. A lot of stupid penalties. I think Kalen DeBoer might be in over his head.
Yep. Yeah, and Bama fans are literally calling for his head. I was hearing the talk show stuff, and that was pretty wild. Another one. So I was with my family last weekend, huge Georgia fans. They were talking a lot about LSU. I know we're jumping around here, but I wanted to talk about that LSU game because obviously that's probably the second biggest game of the weekend. They showed up against Clemson, and man, I got a lot of things to say, but I want to hear your take first.
Yeah. So I had to rewatch this game. It was a long Saturday night, especially celebrating that FSU win. That game, I felt like both offenses actually did not look that bad. It was like when it came down to converting on 3rd and 4th down in like the opponent's territory is where they really struggled. And like, but like overall, I felt both teams were moving the ball fine, and it was a pretty entertaining game. Obviously, like the points aren't that high, but LSU looks legit. I think they have one of the best defenses in the country, and so does Clemson. But Cade Klubnik, just like he on paper should be so good. On paper, he looks like anything you'd want in a quarterback, and just time after time he disappoints when the lights come on.
Yeah, and I think I couldn't agree more. And I was actually going to say that I think Klubnik he's one of those guys that he dominates when he plays like a Virginia Tech at home or something. He throws for 300, 3 touchdowns, and rushes for 1. But like you said, when the lights come on, and also one thing that I wanted to touch on LSU, Harold Perkins, number 7.
Yeah.
So he was a preseason All-American last year, tore his ACL, came back. He would have been a first-round pick if he played last season. Came back so he could play with this team. It's unbelievable what one guy can do when he's that good, because he's once again a preseason All-American, and he's going to be an All-American. It'll probably be a first-round pick at LSU. He was the one who had the game-saving play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that they got names all over that defense. Like
Weeks too.
Yeah, the linebackers there, awesome. And then obviously it's LSU. They got great corners.
Oh yeah, they got that freshman kid who's tough too. He's amazing. I think number 3 or something.
Yeah, LSU is going to be a lot of fun this year. I'm excited to see what transpires. My concern, though, is with Brian Kelly, because Brian Kelly is also a guy who chokes when the lights come on. So
yes, he really does. And I think LSU could have the most talented roster in the country, but at the end of the day, Brian Kelly, and he's running the show for him. So I'm a little nervous about that. But Nussmeier looked pretty good. I wouldn't say he looked like Heisman caliber good, but it's the first week, so he's got a lot of time to grow into that.
yeah, luckily none of the offenses seemed like they showed up too well. So
Agreed.
I'm sure he'll be still in conversation. No issues.
Yeah. And then I'd say the last biggest game of the weekend was Notre Dame, Miami. I was shocked by Miami. What did you think about the? I mean, I had Miami betting wise, but I was shocked. I mean, it's a way different team than last year. Way different.
Yeah, that's like Miami and Florida State are brand new ball clubs.
Yep.
And I mean, you look at Miami last year; they were 9-3, I think, or 10-2,
Yeah.
something like that. So you're like, how can they get much better? Well, their defense. I thought Notre Dame was going to run it down their throat. I didn't think they would be able to stop Jeremiah Love, but they did. And that won them the game overall. They won in the trenches. They out-physicaled Notre Dame, which is a very tough thing to do.
Yeah.
But as a Notre Dame supporter, I'm not all that upset with how the game ended up playing out, because Notre Dame played terrible, yet only lost by 3.
Yeah.
Had an opportunity at the end.
Yeah, and I thought I would be happy with CJ Carr if I were you.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought he played great.
First snaps of his career. So
yeah, I thought he played great. I don't really know why Jeremiah Love touched the ball 7 or 8 times. He's a Heisman caliber running back. I feel like he should be getting the ball 18 to 25 times. I don't care if you're winning by 20 or down by 20. You're probably your best chance to win is with that guy toting the rock 25 times a game. But at the end of the day, like you said, Miami was out physicaling them. And I'm not kidding. I think that's the first game I've watched of Miami where they haven't allowed 30 points in the last, like literally in the last year. Like if Cam Ward didn't have 5 touchdowns last year, they'd lose. It's that simple.
Yeah, no, it was a completely different Miami team. Was not expecting it. Carson Beck even looked good. And I'm not a Carson Beck fan, but he looked very composed, and it looked like that offense is dialed. And Miami's going to be tough to. If you look at the ACC right now, we talked about 3 of these teams: FSU, Clemson, and Miami. I mean, it's going to be a dog fight.
Yeah, 100%. And that's just a quick recap of just the main games.
Yeah.
And we'll get into the ACC and in the weeds and the Big 12 and all the big conferences in a little bit. Did you have any other games that you wanted to touch on from last weekend, recapping anything that you saw that was interesting?
Just shout out South Carolina. Shout out Shane Beamer for
he's an awesome man.
Yeah, I mean that any given Saturday just made
me love him.
Yeah, made me love him, made me love, Beamer ball, Gamecock football. So glad that they could pull it out against Virginia Tech in a game that I did not think a game that I thought they were going to blow them out. But obviously that first half, everything was not going their way, and they still managed to win by 2 scores. So
yeah, and I think obviously I'm a little biased. I've got money on Sellers to win the Heisman. I also have been preaching Sellers Heisman since the start of the season. A few weeks beforehand, but dude, he's got glimmers of insane ability and stardom that I haven't seen. Like he's incredible when he has the ball in his hands, but it's weird because he'll take 2, 3, 4 drives off like he did against Virginia Tech in the first half where they only scored, what was it? Was it 10 points, 10 to 8 at halftime?
Yeah.
And realistically, you can't do that. If you're trying to win Heisman, if you're trying to take your team to 10, maybe even 11 wins in the SEC. Virginia Tech is not LSU. They're not Texas. They're not any of the sorts. And I didn't love that out of Lenora Sellers. I loved, obviously, his runs and the deep shot he had to Nick Hines, is it?
Nick Harbor.
Nick Harbor, yeah. Nick Harbor, the deep shot he had to him was just incredible. Not even a step into it, and he threw it 45 yards down the field. But I don't know, man. What's your opinion on how he takes 3 or 4 drives off, it seems, each game?
Yeah, I mean, if that's what it takes for him to just turn up in the second half, I guess whatever way you can get it. So I And also, it's really not about how you start; it's about how you end it.
That's
And
true.
what I just hung my hat on with Notre Dame was, it was not a good start, but they finished strong.
Yeah, they definitely did, and that defense is always good. Beamer's a good coach, and they always seem to have one or two stout defensive linemen. That'll be the first, second round picks like they did last year, and they have another one this year. I'm forgetting his name. He's number 5. He's one of the best players in the SEC.
Dylan Stewart.
Yeah. Yep. Can't believe I'm blanking on his name, but yeah, another game I actually wanted to talk about was last night. That was I mean, I feel bad almost for Belichick. The Jordan stuff's hilarious, but I
Yeah.
feel bad for him because, like, man, that stadium was so geeked up when Gio took him down the field, and they were like, "This guy might be the guy."
Yeah.
And quickly he turned into not the guy, and they got their butts literally handed to them on a platter
Yeah.
and 41-0 run like it was basketball in Division 1 against Division 3.
Yeah. Again, like kind of a similar thing to like Arch's situation. You're playing a tough game week 1. Like you
Yep.
could schedule a cupcake there and ease your way into it. And
Yep.
even a TCU team that's returning a lot of talent. And
18 to 22 starters.
Yeah, 18 to 22 starters. There you go. And then you got Sonny Dykes coming in, who's like coming off a bad season, obviously wants to prove it. And
Yep.
Belichick coaching his first college game. It's a rough awakening. One takeaway is that they really messed up that quarterback situation because he is making $4 million.
Yeah, I did see that. Is he the highest paid QB?
He's not the highest paid QB, but he's definitely up there. Like Duke and North Carolina overpaid their quarterbacks, in my opinion. Duke went after Darian Mensah from Tulane.
Yep.
And
then Tulane picked up Retzlaff for like the same price.
Yeah, which I think Retzlaff is better than Mensah. So I think
probably
Tulane's the real winner of the offseason.
Yep. Yeah, seriously. One thing I did want to say though about TCU, we're obviously going to get into the Big 12 in a little bit, but just a brief, Hoover's unbelievable. And their new running back, Kavarian Barnes, is also unbelievable. And then Dwyer, their wide receiver, number 7, had I think 11 catches for like 140 yards and a touchdown, and was making NFL plays 2 feet in the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched TCU last season. They were good, no doubt. I think they had 9 wins, maybe 8. But I guess returning 18 to 22 starters, that's what it does for you. But Hoover looked like an NFL quarterback last night.
Yeah. To be honest, didn't get to watch much of that game. Was a little caught up, but
it's all good.
From what I've heard, I think TCU was a very bad matchup for North Carolina.
Yeah.
Just the exact opposite. It was a team returning a ton of starters and then a team with just a brand
70 transfers.
Yeah. So
seriously.
Very tough matchup to start the season with.
Yeah. Definitely worked out in not in Big Bill's favor there for sure. All right. Well, let's break down some. So obviously week 1's over. We're going into week 2. It's not a great slate, but I wanted to talk a little bit before we go into week 2 about the major conferences and what you see for the rest of the season. Let's start with the big boy SEC. How do you feel after the week 1?
Yeah, I mean, obviously only Texas, Bama, LSU played competitive games. So like my jury's still out. Like you can't rule out Georgia yet.
Yeah.
So I want to see Georgia. I think Georgia plays Tennessee in 2 weeks.
I think that is 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah.
So like 2 weeks, it's like Georgia, Tennessee, and that'll be kind of a good tell for how Georgia season's going to go because I know it's at Tennessee. And then, but from what I've seen, like from week 1, stock rising is LSU. Like LSU, they were kind of a streamy team coming in. It seemed like the hype around LSU just kept building and building and building, and then they showed it week 1. They lost 5 straight week 1s, and then
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
And then I think they had their technically toughest week 1 matchup being Clemson as they were ranked, in the top 5. And then they come out and pull out a win. So, yeah, LSU looks very dangerous in my eyes right now. Like, I still love Texas. I still would take Texas, but like outright regular season title, I got LSU right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to throw a sleeper in there. I don't think they have the tools in their shed to win it,
Yeah.
but Texas A&M with Marcel Reed and Le'Veon Moss
Okay.
are
Yeah.
very good, and it's impossible to play down at Allen Field. And it's one of those places that it's like 108,000 people,
Yeah.
similar to the Big House, where it's like that's one of the hardest places to play in the world. And I don't think, like I said, I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they're going to be up in that top 4 to 5 echelon where they're going to be ahead of Tennessee. I think they're going to be neck and neck with Georgia.
Yeah.
They're going to be up there with Texas LSU. And I'm pretty high on Marcel Reed. It was a weird situation last year where they were playing what was his name, the fourth year
Heisman.
Yep, Wegman. He was pretty horrible. And whenever Marcel Reed would go in, they would basically just tell him to run. So the defense knew he was running. But now that he can control the offense and it's his team, he was a 5-star for a reason. I think that team's dangerous, and they could really give anyone in the SEC a run for their money.
Yeah, I mean, they were one game away from the SEC championship last year. So
yes, they were.
Like a lot of people kind of forgot about that they were kind of knocking on the doorstep there. But yeah, I am not as high on Marcel Reed. But I am high on Le'Veon Moss. I mean,
he's amazing.
If you let them establish a run with him, like, it's going to be a really tough game for you. So that's a really good sleeper pick. I like that sleeper pick. If I had to take a sleeper pick in the SEC, give me DJ Lagway.
Okay, with Florida.
Yeah. But they got an impossible schedule.
I was going to say, you think they can overcome? They literally play. I think we talked about it before the pod. They play 6 or 7 teams inside the top 20.
I just looked at.
I think all of them are away too.
I just looked at the ACC teams and the top 3: Miami, Florida. Besides Clemson, Florida's playing Miami and Florida State.
So they're out of conference is the two of the 3 best ACC teams.
Yeah, and South Florida,
who's sneaky.
So Florida's schedule is just a gauntlet, but if they can get through that, I don't see anyone that could stop them.
Yeah, Lagway's tough too. He's once again 5-star for a reason. You don't get ranked like that if you're terrible. Well, actually, Malachi Nelson might say otherwise, but other than him,
that are just Jaden. What happened?
Yeah, there's a few examples where it's like, okay, well, maybe he wasn't a 5-star here, but at the end of the day, I like that take. I like Florida too. I think Lagway is going to be good, especially if he's healthy. They can compete. The problem is he's never healthy, but hopefully he can stay healthy for the sake of the Florida Gator Nation down there. Well, let's transition. Let's talk Big Ten ball and more Midwest style. What do you think?
Yeah, on paper, it's supposed to be Penn State's year. On paper, Penn State's got no excuse. Like, if you look at the way the Big Ten has kind of gone the last few years, it's the team that returns the most talent is the one that's going to succeed. And Penn State returned their whole backfield. Katron, Nick Singleton, Andrew Aller all came back.
Yep.
But then again, we talk about coaching and how important coaching is. James Franklin, another guy, can't win the big game. So, God, I want to say Penn State just based off logic, but it's so hard to go against Ohio State. So, I don't know. Give me Oregon.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. I can't stand Penn State or Ohio State. Like, literally can't. Actually, it's like I'd say 2/3 of the Big Ten I can't stand. So, growing up in the Chicago area, I hate Penn State, I hate Ohio State, and I hate Michigan. So it's tough to root for anyone besides, like, I'm damn near rooting for the Washington Huskies at this point. But I definitely, I think logically, those are the 3 best teams: Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State. Yeah. And I think, although I am not as high on Drew Aller as others, like when he was getting compared to Josh Allen, I thought that was laughable. But I do think their backfield is ridiculous. That's 2 NFL running backs. It's similar to Ohio State's with Quidshawn and Henderson last year. Like those 2 guys are going to go in the top 3 rounds of the draft most likely. So
Definitely.
I'm going to take Penn State, and I don't want to because I don't want to see them win the Big Ten, but I think they will. And give me a sleeper team from the Big Ten that no one's really talking about.
USC.
Okay.
USC. I'm very high on Jade Mayava. I mean, look at like Notre Dame's defense last year was insane. Like one of the best defenses in the country. Only Ohio State really had success against them. But Jade Mayava kind of dotted us up for majority of that game. I know we threw 2 pick sixes, but both those pick sixes were like on Notre Dame's 5. Like he drove right down the field on us, and I just kept thinking like this guy is going to be a stud. And he's got a Heisman, just a coach that just produces Heisman. And Lincoln Riley, I think Lincoln Riley is just bound to figure it out eventually. I think if I had to pick a sleeper, I'm taking USC.
Okay. I like that. I'm not going to take USC because I'm not going to double up, but I like that take a lot. I once again hate saying this, but I think Michigan, I don't think they're going to win, but I was shocked at how good Bryce Underwood looked. He hardly even ran, but his release is incredible. And if you haven't seen it, go look up on TikTok or Instagram or whoever's listening, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Bryce Underwood highlights from week 1. They didn't play anyone good. I forget exactly who they played. I think it was like New Mexico State or something. Yeah, New Mexico State.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, he looked like the number 1 player in the country.
Yeah.
And I think, like you've been talking about coaching, Harbaugh's an incredible coach, and he showed that when they won, even if they cheated. But we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But Bryce Underwood is legit. They haven't had a legit quarterback since McCarthy. And last year they were competitive with whatever the hell they had going at quarterback. That I think I was better than both of those 2. But now they have Underwood. He's legit. I could easily see them winning 8 or 9 games because the low half of the Big Ten is very low this year. Like Rutgers, Washington, Purdue, Northwestern are literally brutal.
Yeah.
So I could easily see them cleaning up on those teams and really making maybe 1 or 2 upset noises. I don't think they'll beat Ohio State, but I do think they can win 8 or 9 games.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's Michigan. Like, it's going to be a very tough defensive battle, and Bryce Underwood looks pretty good. So, but yeah, again, got to see a big time game.
Oh yeah. This is a kid's play. I'd like to see him do that in a big time stadium. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go Big 12, then we'll go ACC.
Yeah, I think we have a similar team in mind for the Big 12, Texas Tech.
Yep. Yeah.
Texas Tech is like, I've been very high on them. Like last year, Ohio State's like, here's $20 million to the portal. Like our team costs $20 million, blah, blah, blah. Texas Tech said, here's 50. Drop it on the table. And I love that. And again, a team that's returning their quarterback too. Okay, returning the quarterback to me is very important to, I think, having success. And then they just build around this guy, Baron Morton. I think he just kind of gets better each and every day. And I think this Texas Tech team they're my favorite team in the Big 12 this year. I'm very high on them, and I think that they can pull it out this year. They had probably outside of LSU best portal class.
Yeah, I think they actually were ranked 2nd, which for the Big 12 is shocking because it's usually like Georgia, Bama, LSU. But yeah, I agree. I made a video, I think, a few weeks back about Texas Tech winning the Big 12. But dude, what I will say, I think this is the 100% the most deep conference in the country. Not saying as far as the best teams, but the amount of teams that could legitimately win. Yeah. I think I'm going to list them off and tell me if I say one that you don't think. This is just going off the top of my head. Utah, Texas Tech, Kansas State, Iowa State.
K-State, I'm off K-State.
Okay, off K-State. We're putting one down. BYU, Arizona State. And we're going to stop it there. But that is legitimately 6 teams that I think could win the Big 12. And obviously it's not – who?
TCU?
Oh, I think TCU could sneak in there. So
Yeah.
that's 7 teams. I
Okay.
think BYU's on the lower end of those, but
Definitely.
I'd say ASU, TCU, Texas Tech,
Yeah.
Iowa State honestly looks pretty
Yeah.
good. Like this conference is crazy and it's going to be so fun to watch. I
Mhm.
think the winner is going to be 8-4.
Yeah, and like you can't even count out like Kansas either. Like
Yeah,
Kansas,
yeah,
like
with
Jalen
with
Daniels has
eighth
got
year
that.
Jaden Day, yeah, with 8th year Jalen Daniels.
Oh yeah, the Big 12 is a lot of fun. Very excited for this conference. Like to see how it plays out. Even last year was chaos.
Oh yeah.
Kansas went knocked off like the top
Yeah,
team 3 weeks in a row.
yeah,
Arizona
they were like
State
3-6.
sneaked
Yeah.
in. That was just that was chaos. That's the beauty of college football is just the craziness like that will go down, and the Big 12 embodies that perfectly.
100%. And I'm pretty excited to see. I'm not a Dion hater, but I'm kind of done with the hype from them. And I think they could literally not make a bowl game this year. Like, I don't think they're very good. I do think Salters is good, though.
They're benching them apparently. You hear that? Rumor
No
is
way.
rumor is Julian Lewis is taking the snaps on Saturday.
Dude, it was not his fault why they lost, but that's crazy. Haynes King just bodied them up. He ran all over them.
Oh, that good sleeper out in the ACC.
Oh, dude, that yes, we're thinking alike, which is great, and that's why we're meshing well on here.
Yeah,
But that's all I've got for the Big 12. I think that
yeah,
it's an unreal conference. There's 7 teams that could literally win it, but we're both taking Texas Tech. Now
yeah.
let's talk ACC. Let's talk those top 3 teams, and then the fourth that might sneak in there with the old Haynes King.
Oh yeah. Yeah, FSU, Clemson, and Miami. If I had to rank them 1 through 3, I got Miami, Clemson, FSU in order
Okay,
right now. Again, just very impressed with Miami, the way they played that Notre Dame game. I think they played just like outstanding. And again, like out physicaling Notre Dame is so hard to do for any team. Like that's how you beat Notre Dame. But Miami did it perfectly. Clemson is still a juggernaut. Like,
yeah,
don't get it twisted. Like LSU is better than Clemson. That was what it was. And then Florida State, that could turn out to be a fluke. I don't think it is. I think FSU is there to stay, but they got a tough schedule as well. And I think that Clemson and Miami are overall better.
I would agree with that 100%. I was just looking up, trying to remember the name of the Clemson kid, Peter Woods. Probably the best D lineman in the country
Yeah.
and probably a top 10 pick. He is a literally road grader, and that's one of the main reasons that I'd put Clemson at 2. It almost pushes him to 1, but number 4 on Miami, we were talking about him today. I'm blanking on his name, but the left end who wrote the FND in his notebook, the transfer in. I think he's from Louisiana Tech, maybe the Raging Cajuns down there. But dude, he's ridiculous. I think Miami's good, and I think Carson Beck can manage those games, especially in the ACC. But I do want to talk about because these are going to be. I honestly think I'm going to bet on them like probably 8 of the 12 games is Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
The 2 Haynes in the backfield, Jamal Haynes and Haynes King,
Yep.
are insane. Like Jamal Haynes is basically Jahmyr Gibbs, just reincarnated. He looks the same, wore the same number. He's running like a 4.25 40 easily. And then Haynes King looks like freaking Tim Tebow out there. He ran for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Jamal Haynes is a top 5 running back in college football. And
Wow. That's a bold. I like that.
yeah, Jamal Haynes is a top 5 running back in college football. And then Haynes King, I mean, the guy who's been there. And I will never forget A&M versus Bama back in 23. Haynes King goes out there with like a messed up ankle. He's limping all over the place. And this guy was just getting bodied and took A&M all the way down the field and almost pulled off one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen. That showed me the heart in this kid. And I'm just gonna whisper it out now, but like, do you remember Georgia Tech, Georgia last year?
Oh, yeah.
Going to Georgia Tech. I mean, sneaky upset watch early on.
Yeah, I got to be careful with what I say. My entire mom's side of the family went to Georgia, so they're gonna be pissed if I say that. But I'm taking Georgia Tech all day in that game. It's probably gonna be 3.5, and I'm taking it all day. I think they're gonna get 3.5.
Yeah.
That's just a guy who's bet a little bit. That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
Okay.
I think they'll probably be coming in.
I think they'll be getting a lot more, but
You think so?
I think they'll. I mean, it's Georgia. It's a
I
dog.
don't know though, man.
What they're going into, like record wise, like if
Yeah,
Georgia's
I
at 11-1, like I think, and we're assuming Georgia Tech's like got 3 losses at that point.
I guess, yeah. If
I would
I
say,
was thinking, I guess I'm a little higher on Georgia Tech. I was thinking they'd be closer to like 2 or 1 loss, but you're right. I guess if Georgia has less than 2 losses, they're going to be at least touchdown or more.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you're probably right on that. I guess I'm a little overzealous on old Haynes King.
It's okay. We all are.
All
America.
right. Well, yeah, seriously, he's turning it into America's team.
I got a question for you real quick. You got a group
Okay.
of 5 sleeper?
So obviously USF was sweet, but I'm not going to take that because I know that's going to be you.
No, I got
But
a different one.
okay.
Yeah.
Give me. Let me think on this because
Okay.
I'm trying to think who I watched in Group of 5 that actually moved the needle on me. Um, the one team. Okay, it's not Group of 5, so this isn't really answering your question.
Okay.
But the Utah Utes were literally incredible. I watched them in the late night slate.
Yeah.
And I'm blanking on the quarterback's name. I think it's Lampier.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Dylan Lampier.
Let's see. It is Utah Dampier. So they're not a group of 5, but I literally think he is like he could be the best quarterback in the Big 12 next to Levitt. Like he's unbelievable. He had an insane game. And I think they're getting zero love. So they're not a group of 5 by any means. They're in one of the best conferences.
Yeah.
But because of the fact they're getting zero love, this is going to be my answer. I think they're going to make the playoff.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I'll look into. I didn't see much of his highlights from that.
Check it out, and you're going to be on board. But give me your group of 5 sleeper while I think of another one.
My group of 5 sleeper is Texas State.
Yes.
I love Texas State. I think that they got like you look at Boise State last year, what led them that fueled them was their running game. Texas State's got like 3 different running backs they can throw out there at any time. And then they got Brad Jackson at QB, and I like this guy a lot. He threw 4 TDs against Eastern Michigan. Texas State's coming in Saturday against UTSA, and they're dogs, plus like 5.5. And
So your play of the week?
it's my group of 5 play of the week. That's for sure. Those are my boys.
Okay.
Coming in as a dog? Hell yeah. No, go Texas State. Let's go Bobcats. And they just joined the Pac-12. I'm telling you, this is going to be like one of those teams that this is going to be one of the top teams in college football potentially soon. Like that Texas football money is different. And Texas State is just flooding that program right now. And I think that this is a team to like watch out for not just this year, but years to come.
Okay, I like that a lot. And I'll be fair to you. I didn't watch any group of 5. To be honest, I didn't watch a ton of football last week just because I was on a family trip over the weekend. So I just had to sneak it in here and there. So I didn't get to watch a ton of group of 5 other than the big games I watched a good bit of, but I didn't get to watch a ton of group of 5. But I will give you a little inside baseball quick on the Texas State Bobcats. Holden Gerner is their backup quarterback, and he's my cousin's best friend. They grew up next to him their entire life, and he is a Bobcat, and he transferred in from the Auburn Tigers. So they've got money to toss around because you're not getting an Auburn transfer if you don't have something to prove. So I wish Holden was their quarterback and he was running it because he's a former Elite 11 guy. So pretty crazy what Texas State's bringing in because he was a 4-star out of high school. And he was in the same Elite 11 as all of the 5 stars. Like, trying to think of who was in his class even because I lose track of how many years he's been in school. Unfortunately, he hasn't played as much as I'd like to see him play.
Yeah.
But I'm in on the Texas State Bobcats. I'm all in. I'm taking them +5.5, and I'm probably taking their money line.
I'm taking their money line too. I'm loading up on them. That's gonna be and they play in the Alamo Dome too, which is gonna be
That's sweet.
it's gonna be a fun.
That's Texas ball right there, son.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
All right, well, let's go let's talk quick about the biggest game of the weekend. It's not a great slate this weekend, if I'm being completely honest. Oklahoma, Michigan. Give me your quick thoughts, and then we'll wrap up. Appreciate you coming on. I know it's a little late, but it's fun to have you on, brother.
Oh yeah, anytime, man. I love doing this. Yeah, I am all in on John Mateer from Oklahoma,
Okay.
and I think it's going to be a bit of a transition for Bryce Underwood to walk in to a packed house in Oklahoma for it's giving me kind of almost the Bama Florida State vibe where
Okay.
I don't think that Underwood is ready for what's coming. I think John Mateer, he just gives me so much flashbacks to Baker Mayfield. And I think
Good comp.
Oklahoma is just a absolute sleeper this year. I think they're going to be probably right on the outside looking in. If I had to guess, they're going to be in that we'll call it 11 to 16 range. But I think that they got a defensive coach for one, and they've just been missing on the offensive side. And then they went out and got John Mateer from the portal. They went and got Jaden Ott in the portal, running back from Cal last year.
Good.
They revamped that offense again. And then they brought in Ben Arbuckle, who was John Mateer's OC at Washington State too. So there's a familiarity in the offense. It's just in a new environment and a better environment. And they're getting Michigan week 2. I like Oklahoma a lot, and I think that they're going to be too strong for this Michigan team.
Okay, I like that. I'm an SEC bias guy, so even though I talked a lot of love on Bryce Underwood, I don't know, man. I like your take on Mateer, and I like that they brought the OC over to kind of back him and really support what he's doing. And Jaden Ott was an insane transfer. We were talking about Texas oil money. Oklahoma's got oil money too, baby.
Yeah.
The Sooners, they back their teams. That's for damn sure. So I think that's going to be a great game. I'm actually really excited to watch that one. I personally think it's going to be a shootout. I think Bryce Underwood is going to be able to keep up, but I think Oklahoma is going to be a little too much for him. I'm predicting like a 27-20 Oklahoma win, covering on the number. I think it's going to get up to 6 by game time.
Okay.
And I'm liking Oklahoma though, -6, like what you said. But I think Underwood's gonna surprise a few people. I think he's gonna run for one, maybe pass for one, and have a decent game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I hope he does well because I want good football at the end of the day. I don't want to.
You're a football fan.
I'm a football fan. Yeah, that's right. I might probably just take Oklahoma money line and just
put it in a parlay or something.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what I'm going to do there. But all in on Oklahoma for this year with John Mateer. I think he was my number 1 transfer in last year's class. So
wow, that's high praise because there was some damn good transfers. That's awesome. All right, well, give me your Heisman favorite and your pick for right now, and then we'll jump for now. But we're definitely going to come. I'm going to have you back on later this year and see how big of idiots we are, or if we're pretty damn smart. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I'm all for it. I'll come on whenever you need me to. Heisman pick for this year. I mean, I was just talking about him. John Mateer's been my sleeper Heisman.
Okay.
But I guess right now, if I had a gun to my head, we're gonna have to go with probably Sellers. I mean,
okay,
he's the most dual threat quarterback we got, and I just think I think it might be his year to take it home. I just hope he can stay healthy because he can play a little reckless at times.
Yeah, that's true, and they got a tough schedule as well. I would put Lagway in the mix, but I don't think a 6-6 QB or 7-5 QB is going to be eligible for the Heisman. Just their schedule. It's not that he's not good. It's their schedule is legit impossible. It should be illegal what they're doing to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how Florida likes it, though. 1 year they're going to run through that schedule, and then
Yeah, and they're going to be
okay,
dominant. Yeah,
it's out from now.
that's so true. If they get 10 wins out of that schedule, they're the number one team in the country.
And Lagway's only a sophomore too, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, so he's guaranteed one more year. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on, man. And it's been great talking a little college football. I'm excited for this week, but more importantly, I'm excited for once conference play kicks off, like you talked about with Georgia, Tennessee, and those big weeks to come. So I appreciate you coming on, and we'll definitely have you back on.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Have a good one.
All right, we'll talk soon.